Good evening, everybody. Hi, guys. How's it going? Can you guys hear me live? I'm just checking my dashboard to make sure that you guys can actually see me. Are you guys censored? Can you chat? Okay, now you can chat. It's enabled. How have you guys been doing? Hope you guys have been doing very well and been playing very cautiously during this downtrend. I think that we've nailed quite a bit of targets, right? So welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me for my live stream. Hello baby whales, mini dolphins, and tiny little penguins. I hope you guys have marched very well and successfully, and more importantly, cautiously. So a lot has happened, huh guys? So much has happened in the past year, rather, if you guys have been here for a long time now. And I want you guys to know that we're not gonna win every trade, right? Despite us being very successful thus far, we got to remember that this is like a game, and right now it's March the 16th. It's 10:30 Central Standard Time here in Canada, and it's my favorite thing to do, guys. I used to go out a lot, and I used to, just drink too much, etc., and party, and this is my idea of the most ideal Friday night. And if you guys don't know by now, the way that I see my live or my trading is it's more like a video game, right? It's like a video game to me, and it's like a puzzle. The way that I recommend that you guys see this trading game is like a puzzle. It's a puzzle with tons of different possibilities that has no answer. And the more you play this game, the more you play the game of probability. And we have to remember that it's not a game of winning all the time. We have to come to terms that we will eventually lose a lot of our trades. But what we try to do is win more of our trades than we lose, right? And we have to remember that it's a marathon, not a sprint in any way whatsoever. So, you might have won the little battle, but keep in mind there's always a bigger war going on, right? Thank you, the Fifth Estate. You're the best. So you guys should be, I don't mean this condescendingly or patronizing in any way, but if you guys have been here in this space for 6 months or a year or 2 years, you guys should be really proud of yourselves if you're not broke yet, okay? A lot of people have lost a significant amount of money trading in the market. And we got to remember that it's okay to lose money, right? It's how we progress as a trader. It's how we learn. Without these valuable lessons, right, how are we going to focus on winning more over time? So please come to terms with the fact that you will lose no matter what. It's inevitable. If you guys think you're going to win this one big trade all the time, like, hit the jackpot, it's just not going to happen, guys. So what I really advise to people is that make sure you don't play your entire account. If you play your entire account always, you're not going to be able to dollar cost average, and you might be uncomfortable playing a larger amount than you would like to. So if you guys are new in this space, make sure you're only playing a very small amount, and understand with 100% certainty that you are likely to lose every single penny of yours 3 times over, 4 times over, 5 times over, like how I have, until you get to the point where you've lost so much that all of these lessons are becoming incredibly valuable. So without these losses, you guys wouldn't be where you are here right now, right? So when I first started out trading, unbelievable amount of money that I've lost, but I've learned to accept and appreciate these losses because it's now made me the kind of trader that I am. It's what's given me the ability to make these kinds of calls to be able to help you guys as well. I was just checking out, delivery, and I just wanted to check out steemit to see what I can actually have for dinner tonight. I was actually thinking of this one right here because they come in a pair. Whoa, that was really friggin' loud. Did you guys hear that crap? I gotta turn off my phones. Give me a second here. Holy crap, that scared the shit out of me. Okay, so like this one comes in a cat and a dog, and I thought that'd be pretty good to order for dinner tonight because I'm getting kind of hungry. This one looks a little bit wild, right? I don't know if I really want to eat that one. The meat looks a little bit tough, right? This one I don't really know. It looks a little bit too aged. Maybe something a little bit more tender. That would be really good, right? Like this one's pretty good too, but I'm not really a big fan of the white meat, right? White meat's not really that good. I prefer them a little bit of a dark meat. So let's get started and let's talk about BitConnect first of all, like we always do, okay? So BitConnect has dropped from a whopping $400, if you guys don't know, to about $1 and 84 cents. So whenever we do a BitConnect update, we always gotta go, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, BitConnect, hey, 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 Carlos Matos in the house here. So BitConnect has dropped from a whopping like $2 billion market cap to about $17 million, right? But we've actually recovered in the 24-hour volume. We're now at $21,000, okay? Yeah, I just want to say hi to my friend Graham. He's a really good friend of mine in real life. He used to live in my city here in Canada, in Manitoba, and he's actually watching the show, and I invited him for the first time. So hopefully we get to like 2,000-3,000 viewers like we normally do. He moved to Australia, and I really miss this motherfucker. Oh shit, I started talking about, I swore again, guys. I promised I wouldn't swear in my videos because they don't get monetized. Damn it, that's another video where I'm not gonna get monetized. So I may as well say things like shit, fuck, tits, come, fuck me in the face and slap me with your balls, right? So it's okay now that I've officially swore. It's now okay for me to be a complete dick and jackass, and we can talk about some very obnoxious things, all right? Every time I do a live stream with you guys, I never get to the point, like 5 minutes in, and I'm already swearing, right? Damn, I gotta... You know, you guys wouldn't even believe it that I made this technical analysis video already. It took me like an hour, it's like an hour video. I was so professional in it, but I figured you guys might want to live stream instead. So I started tweeting on Twitter there, right? So BitConnect, yeah, I keep saying that when Bitcoin reaches $100,000, that's probably when you guys are going to be able to recover a lot of the money that you've lost, or if you're still holding from $400, because you know what they say, you don't actually lose any money until you sell your position. So when you think about it, are you guys really at a loss right now? Not really, because you haven't sold anything yet. You still spent the exact same amount. So, you know, BitConnect has been kind of increasing in 24-hour volume, right? I mean, we were at $17,000, then $25,000. Now we're at about $21,000, and it's in the red right now, but that's okay. Excuse me. So let's talk about Bitcoin now, guys. Let's get to this. Whew, we've nailed literally every single prediction. When I say we, I mean me. We've nailed every single prediction so far, down to the dollar for the past like few months, man. Like, holy crap. I remember when we were downtrending to 6K and I was calling the ending fifth wave diagonals, nailed those predictions, nailed the 11,700 high predictions. Whew, we've been doing good. Do you guys remember my 7,600 prediction that we nailed? Hit the bottom. If you guys took that long trade prediction of mine and call, you probably made a few thousand or $100,000 depending on how much you've been playing with, all right? So let's talk about Bitcoin right now, guys. Am I still at the parents' house? No, I'm actually back at home now. I'm in the Exchange District, if you guys know where that is in Winnipeg. So let's talk about the historical data. So we are actually decreasing in volume. That is what gave it away, guys, okay? We were at about 6.4 billion from that really large drop, 6.8 billion, then we dropped down to about 5.2 billion during this consolidation phase right now, okay? Now we're at about $5 billion for the market cap. And Peter Brandt, he's like a very famous economist, right? He mentioned in his Twitter that because liquidity was too high and volume was too high, it implied that the demand could not outweigh the liquidity. So because of that statement alone, it made entire sense that a correction was also going to be going to happen soon. So think of liquidity like this, okay? Liquidity is supply, right? And when there's so much volume and there's so much liquidity there, but it's not moving the market in terms of price action, you can easily deduce that the demand is not high enough to push it. So if the demand was very high, there would be less liquid supply, right? So because of the difference in spread and less people selling, it should naturally drive the market much higher if there was a big demand. So people were actually very confused, right? Even people like Tony Vase, whom I really respect a lot, everybody was calling this bullish, 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 right guys? Because of these hammer candles that we've been getting. But you know, I definitely didn't see it that way in any way at all. And I want to talk to you guys about how if you guys remember 2 days ago, right? Yesterday as well and 2 days ago, I've been calling this scenario where if we hit over $8,400, we would nail $8,600. And that was if and only if we actually broke to the 8,400 range. Well guys, surely enough, what did we nail right here, okay? You guys know exactly what we nailed. We nailed a high of, I think it was $8,604. So that was wicked. Why did I call my resistance at $8,400? Because of this point right there, okay? And I'm going to talk to you guys about how you could have played this as well and go over it in very high detail. So let's get into this, guys. This structure right here that you see is the moment you guys should be drawing your channels, okay? As soon as you draw that, go to your tool here, go to your parallel channel, draw it from the bottom end right there, extend it, bring it up, take the average of these 2 points right here, the average of that point and that point right there. Boom. Now you have a channel that you can automatically assume will happen. But just to catch everybody up with the original Elliott wave count that we are in right now, for all the newer viewers, I'm surprised we only have 1,000 people here today. Usually there's like 2,000-3,000 around this time. So we're gonna go to our bullish structure. Do you guys remember where I originally had my very bullish count, where I called this my waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I called this my ABC originally, and I said, okay, could this actually be possible where we're gonna uptrend right here? Because this only ends up retracing to the 236 level only about 8% of the time. And if you guys remember back around February the 17th there, I kept saying, okay, is this actually possible right here to retrace to this specific structure? And yeah, and we all thought it was bullish. We all thought that this was the bottom as well, but clearly it wasn't the bottom. Now we ended up adopting a bearish count that I ended up changing it to. So now I'm at 2, 3, 4, and 5 like this. Excuse me, I've been smoking way too much cigarettes. So now we ended up getting something called a double top. Now for all the people that have been calling this, you guys know my rant already. I'm not going to get into my rant again. I know you guys really want me to get into it, but I'm not going to get into my rant with Bill Gates again and the head and shoulders pattern, okay? But the reason why we don't call this a head and shoulders pattern is for one simple reason. Because this shoulder right here is actually higher than that shoulder. This one right here, or the head, this shoulder right here was actually, yeah, you're right actually. It's not cigarettes, it's because I've been sucking too much dick, Anglo. That's right. Is that what you wanted to hear? So this one right here was at $10,788, but this peak right here was actually lower. This one got to 10,000 or 11,700. Have you guys ever seen a person who's got a fucking left shoulder higher than their head? Huh? You guys ever seen a person with a left shoulder higher than their head? No, you don't ever see it with their shoulder, left shoulder higher than the head, okay? You guys have said, okay, well, Hunchback of Notre Dame, actually, Notre Dame has a back that's higher. That's his back that's higher, okay? It's not his shoulder. He's not called the hunch shoulder of Notre Dame, okay? So because this right here was actually 11,788, and this one right here was 11,700, we can easily say that nobody in the world has a left shoulder that's higher than the head. So you guys gotta make sure you understand that. Get that out of your head that this is a left shoulder. And I even took a picture of Bill Gates before and I explained it to you guys. If you guys really want to see it again, I'll easily explain to you guys what a normal person looks like, okay? This is what a normal person looks like with the head and shoulder, okay? They have a very proportional body and a very proportional head and very proportional shoulders. This is his left shoulder. Notice that the left shoulder right here is actually lower than the head. Do you guys see this right here? Okay, notice this left shoulder is lower than his head, and then his head is the highest point, and this shoulder right here is actually lower than it as well. Okay, that's called a normal head and shoulders. Now the way people have been drawing it is they're saying that his shoulder is higher than his head, okay? Do you guys see this right here? Is that really possible for a shoulder to be something like that? Obviously not. Therefore, it's not a head and shoulders pattern, okay? And you guys also know how I feel about inverted head and shoulders. I simply take the head and shoulders shampoo and I flip it 180 degrees, and that's an inverted head and shoulders right there. Okay, I got into the rant again. I said that I wasn't gonna get into the rant, but I actually got into it. My apologies. So now I'm going to stop reading the chat, okay? I'm going to stop reading the chat because you guys get me way too worked up all the time. So now what we see is we see a bounce right here for ABC. So I'm going to explain to you guys how Elliott wave works in detail. Elliott wave works with 5 waves going up like this, where we get 5 small subwaves going up for each one. ignore the slant, okay? Ignore the slant. It's kind of hard for me to ignore the slant actually because my eyes are slanty since I'm Asian, but I just mean for this specific structure over here, okay? So now we get 5 impulse waves going up like that. And then we are looking for an ABC type of zigzag pattern that comes down. Now the characteristics of C is that this guy right here, for Bitcoin specifically, likes to hit the 76.8 level historically. A usually has 5 waves coming down if we call this a 535 zigzag going upwards, right? And then C, we actually get 5 waves coming down always. Remember that, okay? That's how I was able to nail this bottom as well, because I've counted the 5 waves coming down here. If you guys were following me since all the way back in February, we counted 5 waves, and in this specific structure, we actually got 5 beautiful waves as well in an ending 5th wave diagonal that made a falling bullish wedge. So that's how we were able to nail it. So remember the characteristics of C, okay? That it's always 5 waves coming downwards like that for Elliott wave. So just to give you guys a very quick introduction to Elliott wave for the people that don't know, I apologize if some of you guys do know about it and you had to deal with that. Have you guys ever heard my cats and tuna rant? Yeah, we're not going to get into my cats and tuna rant, okay? But just to be very clear, cats do not swim out to the fucking ocean to catch like 200-pound tuna, okay? Cats don't like water to begin with. And most cats are domesticated, okay? They don't hunt tuna in the fucking ocean. They need to really dissolve that myth that cats go out into the ocean to hunt tuna. If they like even have pictures of cats, you know, in their food bowls or in pictures, whatever, like they should really name the fish something else, you know? It shouldn't be named like a goldfish or something, not a fucking tuna. Like that really pisses me off how people think that cats go into the ocean to like hunt tuna. Like what the fuck is wrong with people? Seriously, man. Like that pisses. I'm really upset right now. I gotta take a little breather because I think of house cats and swimming into the ocean. It's not like they can really swim to begin with, okay? They don't have any survival instincts to go out there and swim. So we're gonna talk about how you guys should have nailed this structure as well, okay? We're gonna go to a 3-hour chart right here, and you guys are gonna know how to play this because I'm gonna drill it into your heads. There's a reason why, you know, I've made some pretty decent profit, like you guys have seen, because I'm consistent, right? I'm consistent with the way I play in the market, and you guys should be as well. As soon as we see the breakout of wave 1 right here, we short it, okay? You short it, and then you target a very specific number. You target a 1-to-1 or a 1618 extension of the Fibonacci retracement. And what we see easily here is that this retrace, or this went to the 100 extension, and here's the 1618 extension. You enter a short position right here. You set your stop loss slightly higher than it. You ladder it, take some profit at 3. You add more to your short position at 4. That's an easy 9% profit, right? With the laddering for dollar cost average. And then you also target down there for 19% gain. Did I do that? Heck yeah. Did I do that? I don't remember. I'd be lying if I said I remember. I don't remember that at all. Probably, that's what I do. So now what we're seeing is that we're on this structure right here. And the way that I'm seeing this is simple. I see this as 1, 2, I see this as 3, 4, and I see a 7,600 to a 7,200 barrier on the lower end. We take our simple trend line here to draw it something like that. And what we see right here is, first of all, a massive trend line that goes across it. We secondly see our Fibonacci retracement, right? If I take my Fib retracement level, just like that, we see a double correlation with the trend line support. We see a 786 Fibonacci retracement. And the third thing that we see for a triple correlation method is very simple. We take this Fibonacci wave right there down. Or sorry, that's not right at all. I'm making things up now. It's from this wave right here, from A to B. Remember I mentioned earlier, at A to B, it likes to target, or A, B, and C likes to target 78.6. So now we have a triple confluent zone. We have a 78.6 extension of waves A to B. We have a 78.6 retracement of entire wave structures 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we also have Elliott waves going like that, or so we have the trend line support as well. So how am I not led to believe that we're not going to hit $7,200? Do you guys remember my accuracy of nailing $7,600? That was so easy, guys. How did I do that? Magic. Let me show you guys how I nailed that prediction as well, okay? I nailed that simply by taking this specific wave structure, okay? So first of all, I took my Fibonacci retracement level, and that failed. That was my upper barrier of 8,200, right? So I could have been stopped out at $8,000, but because I also thought around it and I said, okay, well, we're probably going to retrace to the 78.6 region right here. So I said to myself, if it goes lower, I'm gonna target 78 or 161.8 extension. If it drops lower than that, I'm gonna dollar cost average my buys. I bought 30 Bitcoin, if you guys remember, right? I played a really big position there, and I bought another 10 Bitcoin, right? 10 Bitcoin, laddering it down there, got my average price to around 7,900, and I took my profit at 7,300, where I tanked the market a little bit with 40 Bitcoin. So that was a really good play on my end. So make sure you guys understand that you can do one of two things, right? You can either dollar cost average if you are very certain that it's going to hit a specific key point near the bottom there and bounce, or you can stick to your stop loss, short with the strength on the market, and then close your positions near the next target and then go long on it, right? So there's many things that you could have done as well. So let's talk specifically about my specific calls today. So as you guys know, I've called the $8,600 range and I hit it by $5 or something, right? So now let's talk about how these targets were derived as well, right? Easy. $8,600 was derived right around this barrier right here, okay? $8,600. This was the barrier that I almost arbitrarily chose. 1 and 2, this region right there, 8,600. Why did we choose 8,400 to break? Because of this region right there, just like how I chose the 8850, remember? Do you guys remember a few days ago when I said if we broke above 8850, we were gonna hit around 9,400? Then that's pretty much what happened as well, right around here, right? I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere like around over here. So now let's talk about this structure right now. Let's get into more detail, okay? So what you would want to do as soon as this structure forms is you want to draw yourself a parallel line. You draw yourself a parallel line right there, take the average of pretty much these two specific regions right there. So you take your average between here and here, and let's just draw a little bit better actually, okay? Right around, probably around right there. That is how I drew it earlier today, okay? So then what do? You zoom into a very micro time frame. All of this region right here was almost unplayable, right? Because what we did was a lot of people like to play the B, right? So this right here was 5 waves going up, right? 5 waves going up. This to me was actually an A, B, C, D, E, the way I saw it. We have to remember the characteristics of the B wave. Let me show you guys very quickly. Where we have an A, we have a B, and we have a C. This one can come in a 5 wave structure like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a lot of the times B can actually come as A, B, C, like this, okay, where we get a series of a higher high and lower low and higher low, or it can actually make some sort of triangle like this, A, B, C, D, and E, and you guys know this pattern as a symmetric triangle, right? That's how the mechanics of a symmetric triangle works. If it was very bullish, we would actually have an A, B, C, D, E like this, where it would make an ascending triangle. But instead, we just ended up getting an A, B, C, D, E in a symmetric triangle, just like that. Notice how it's symmetric right there, okay? It's not the most perfect one, but it definitely made a slope like that. And the most important thing to take note of is this right here, okay? This 55 EMA that we're talking about. So I'm just gonna remove my background here for you guys, okay? So now we go to a very low time frame. That's right, a 5-minute time frame. I said it. Do you guys remember my 55 EMA strategy? Very important to remember it. We're finding support here, right? We're finding the yellow thing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the donation there, Mike Kim. It's going to go straight towards my dog, Luna, as you guys know, who's a raging alcoholic. Last night I found her outside. That's right, I found her outside like at 4 in the morning, and Luna was looking at the moon. And she was yelling at the moon, and she was like, "Why moon? Why moon? My name is Luna. I'm the only moon." And then she kept asking, when moon, Bitcoin, when moon? She was so hammered because you guys donated a very generous amount last time. And I kept buying her these little bottles of 2.6s, you know, and yeah. Thank you very much, Mira. I really appreciate the generous donation. I really appreciate it. Nah, Luna doesn't do any Molly. My friend Graham and I, who's watching this right now, him and I used to have a lot of fun doing things like that here. Oh, there were some good days, all right. There were some, oh man, I'm not even gonna get into the stories of Graham and I. Hey, let me actually go to my Facebook and see if he's watching this right now, okay? Let me ask him if I can tell you guys some really outrageous stories. I'm gonna ask him right now. So anyways, the 55 EMA strategy, we see it sideways, right? We don't short it. We don't short it because it's not long enough. But what we see is a series of bounces right here. We see a bounce. We see a bounce right there as well, okay? So what you want to do when you see it bouncing like this here is you want to, first of all, enter a long position. Easy. You want to enter a long position anywhere around here. This one would have been the signal to enter, in my opinion. Like right around there, you set your stop loss for a swing low position just right down over here. And guess where you target? You target near the channel resistance, right? And then you guys would have entered into a pretty decent position that's already set up ahead of time. Make sure that you remember that we gotta enter these trades ahead of time, knowing our possible risk to reward, right? So never enter a trade without knowing where your stop loss is or where your target is. That's kind of thank you very much, Turtle Soup Kid. I really appreciate it, man. So you guys would have made yourself in a whopping 4.62% there. So remember this, the bounces, the bounces, the bounces, the bounces, okay? These are very important things to make note of. You see it even more clearly on, for example, like on a 3-minute chart here, okay? You see it even more clearly on a 3-minute chart, just like that right there where it's bouncing. So that would have been a very easy profit to make. Now let's talk about the downtrend. Okay, we're gonna talk about this downtrend first of all in a series like this, okay? We're gonna talk about around 5:12, okay? This downtrend happened at around, if you guys notice the time right here, if you look on the bottom here, it happened around 6 o'clock my time, right? 1810. At 5:12, I tweeted right here that despite sideways price action, thank you, Moon Trader, I appreciate it, man. I wrote, despite sideways price action, we see RSI with the same lows and lower highs, which can be seen as a bearish divergence. So this was on a 30-minute chart. What I like to do is I like to hunt, guys. I like to hunt for signs. And if you are diligent with your process, then you can easily be able to spot these things a lot more, okay? So we see easily here, this is a bearish divergence. What shape is this, guys? You guys know what shape this is. This is a descending triangle, right? Think of it like this. We have a series of supports right here. Okay, we've got a series of support right there, right? But what we're getting is a series of lower highs. And we ask ourselves, how many times can this actually hammer at it? Okay, how many times can it hammer at it until it actually breaks down? And clearly, it proved right here that it broke down and that support couldn't hold. That's right. But now the next series that started to give it away was this one right here, where I was saying, hang tight. This was now at 5:13. And this downtrend happened at 6:12. I said, hang tight, the 45-minute MACD will tell a story soon, right? We're looking at the MACD with the possible crossover right here happening, right? And then finally, the one that gave it away was at 6:02, okay? 6:02 is when I tweeted that, and this downtrend happened around 6:12, right? Right around there, 6:12 it happened. I wrote finally some rejections at the 55 EMA to the upside, hoping it cascades over to higher time frames. So if we look on the 5-minute chart, we're gonna look for signs that you guys can see, right? That's how I was able to make my $900 profit, if you guys remember from my tweets. I don't want to show you guys my bitfinex because I've got a bunch of things opened on there right now that I probably shouldn't share. But yeah, if you guys remember my tweet, I'll just show you my position that I shorted it a pretty decent amount, all right? This was my position. I shorted $32,000 in the market. I shorted 32K, 4 Bitcoins. I was laddering from 8545, 8522, 8522, right? So that's a $200 difference roughly between here and there, or 250, whatever on average. And I closed my position at 83.29. So that's a $900 profit. And I want to tell you guys how I actually made that profit. So it was because I spotted those three things: the 30-minute RSI that was breaking, right? The I didn't even see him. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Let's ban him. Let's ban him. Here, I like to do it in public, right? When we ban someone. Let's ban this guy. Oh, that's the wrong person. I don't want to ban him. Hold on. I gotta make sure I ban the right person. There we go. Simpson Moss. Let's go to about, right? And then we click on the flag. Then we go to block user. There you go. Banned. No more comment for you. Thank you very much for pointing that out. I appreciate it. That was a really good ban. I like how we're having a community vote for things like this. It's pretty fun. So once again, the 30-minute RSI was breaking, right? Or it was showing bearish signs of divergence. The 45-minute MACD was right over here, where it looked like it was about to cross over, right? If we look on the 45-minute MACD, right around here, that's where it was about to cross over. Now, if we look on the other time frames before that, it wasn't really downtrending much, right? It was like kind of a little bit, but this was kind of giving it away as well, the slope, just how it was looking, right? It just wasn't really looking like it was wanting to curve up. But it's the 5-minute chart, believe it or not, that gave us the signal, okay? First of all, we were on an uptrend. This is what an uptrend looks like. The yellow line is supporting all of it up from below. But now on the downtrend, what we got to do is we got to look very closely. You guys have to make sure you're playing detective. We see it slowly start to cross to the upper side, right? Now the yellow line is actually resisting all of it rather. Now we're seeing a series of rejections to the upside. One rejection starts right here. This is the one where I started shorting and laddering, right? And some people even spiked up my orders all the way up there. So then this showed me right here that because we're rejecting to the upside, look at this yellow wick, okay? See the yellow wicks that are shooting to the upside? Well, it's trying to break above the 55 EMA, but it can't. So that started to almost give it away. This candle right here showed that it was rejecting $50 very easily, and it couldn't. This one right here started to show that there was bearish pressure to come down. This one right here started to show that there was bearish pressure to come down even more, but the bulls wanted to defend. But these series of candles right here, these are the ones that gave it away over these 25 minutes, because we were trending very well below the 55 EMA, and the 55 EMA is actually on top of all of it. Does this start to make sense, guys? Right? I hope that this starts to make sense to you guys. And because all of these series of rejection attempts to the upside, right, or rejections to the upside, you guys should have entered a short position. Where should you have targeted? I'll actually draw my resistance a little bit better here. You guys should have targeted roughly at right where the channel support or resistance was, right? So what you should have done was you should have entered a short position with a target right at the trend line resistance, or support rather, and you should have targeted a stop loss rather anywhere from up here, even if you wanted to be very generous, or you could have even just chosen it right here to be very just choose a recent swing high, right? So if this was a swing high, you could have chosen your stop loss right there. And if you follow this strategy of mine, you guys would have entered yourself into a beautiful position for a possible, you know, whatever that is, their 2.8% gain. That's pretty much what I ended up profiting there on my 32K position, right? So that's how you could have played this like a boss. Now, where are we in the structure, guys? Where do you get that histogram you use, Phil? I'll show you, okay? This histogram that I use right here, let's go to a, the default one is actually, histogram right here, okay? This is the one that's the default, okay? I just use the default one. Go to indicator, type in MACD, okay? Type in MACD and click on this one right here, MACD. And then this is the default one that you get. But what I do is I change my colors. I don't remember what the default one is, but I change it to blue and red. And what I like to do is I like to increase my intensity, right? You guys see how it's normally looking like that, which looks really ugly. I change it to the 3rd level to make it more intense for more visibility. And instead of getting this histogram, I click on histogram here and I go to my columns instead. So I prefer to have it like this, and it looks a lot nicer, right? So I hope that answers your question there, Jose. If you have more questions about it in the end, just tweet me and I'll be happy to help you. What are those lines that you use? Okay, let's explain this. You guys want to hear it on a detailed level? Let's do it, okay? This one here, this is the 55 moving average, right? This one right here is the 21 moving average. This one right here is the 13 moving average, the purple one. And this one right here is the 8 moving average. The reason why I use these specific numbers is because I'm an Elliott wave-tician, right? I do Elliott wave, and Elliott wave is strongly involved with Fibonacci numbers and Fibonacci retracements and extensions. So this one here is the 55 EMA. Then the next one is the, sorry, that's the 55. Next one is 21. I'll go lower, 21. This one is 13, and that's 8. Well, if you guys do the math, right, what's 8 plus 13 equals 21? There's one in between I don't use called the 34. 21 plus 34 is equal to 55. 55 plus 34 is whatever that is, 89. So these are all Fibonacci numbers that are part of the Fibonacci sequence of numbers. This is what a downtrend looks like, okay? A downtrend looks like that, where the yellow line is above all of them, acting as resistance. Notice here, yellow, orange, purple, blue. Well, what does an uptrend look like? An uptrend looks like it's reversed, okay? Uptrend looks like it's reversed, where the yellow line is supporting all of it, and then the orange line is next, okay? And then the purple line is next, and then the blue line is next. So whenever they become reversed, that's when you know that this Fibonacci, or this it's called exponential moving averages, are reversed. Look at this on the uptrend. This is yellow, right? 55, 21, 13, 8. Now the yellow ones and the higher numbers are below. Now on the downtrend, the numbers are reversed. Okay, so that's pretty much how it is. Let's go figure this out very quickly so you guys know exactly where we are in this specific structure with an Elliott wave count. So the way that we are counting our Elliott wave right now would be better on the 15-minute time frame. Very easy count, guys. Super easy count to me right now. This is the most ideal coin to be playing right now. We see our simple waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We now see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys know how much people are hating me on the internet right now because I talk about shorting? There's perma bulls in the market, right? And these perma bulls, they do not like it when I short, right? I mean, how many followers do I have now, guys, on Twitter? I've got 60,000 on YouTube, and I got 84,000 on Twitter, right? That's quite a bit, and I don't really have a lot of influence in the market, but people really dislike it when I talk about shorting the market. These like groups are just hating on me. It's pretty funny because people think that I ruin the market by suggesting a short, right? But you know what? Bulls make money, bears make money, and who gets slaughtered? The pigs and the sheep get slaughtered for a reason, right? It's because they simply cannot follow the game. You got to short. Short is a part of the market. It doesn't even matter. Money is money. Just because we're wrecking the bulls, who cares about them, guys? If you guys don't understand what shorting is, you have to start learning how to short. Go to my tutorials. Okay, go to my tutorials on steemit. I'm going to show you guys it very quickly for the people that are unfamiliar. Shorting simply refers to betting against the market. Now, I got my bunch of trades that I've compiled for you guys. 24 tutorials, right? Over 35 hours. Some of the best ones is like number 6 that teaches you how to margin trade, long, short, leverage, and they're all compiled actually in one page now. It's pretty cool. So if you guys make it to the end there, like I said, congratulations if you made it to the end. If it's helped you, you guys have to donate 136.93231251 Bitcoins, and no donations less than that will be accepted. Just to be very clear, that's the minimum donation if you guys are going to donate to me. So those are some really good lessons. This one is really good as well, number 17. I started with 2K. I just put $2,000 in a random account because I wanted to show you guys that you don't need a big account, and I wanted to dispel that myth as well of people saying you're only doing well scalping because you have fees. Well, I did this on a fairly new account with almost maximum fees with a very small account, and I traded for 6 hours over a few days, and I turned 2K into 3,500. So there's some really good videos out there to show you guys how to grow very small amounts of money into something astronomical. But if you're unfamiliar with shorting, please make sure you watch lesson number 6 as well that talks about it, okay? So now we have our ABCDE structure. Now what's next? Simple, guys. Very, very simple. Waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going up like that. And what do we have, guys? We have our ABC structure, right? We got our massive AB structure that's part of the primary trend, like that. And I'll just change the degree so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There you go. That's now your ABC going upwards. And if I were to draw this in a line to make this stay yellow, it might be much more evident to some people who are more familiar with Elliott waves. So if I were to draw this like that, and I draw it like that, and I draw like that, that's now our ABC structure that has officially completed, and therefore we have began our uptrend. And now another reason that we can easily confirm our downtrend is pretty much this region that's going to be breached soon. Do you guys remember me talking about 79.30? That's a very critical number. Once we break 79.30 zone right around here, it's go time for the bears. Just keep that number in mind, okay? If we break that, guys, it's going to be it's going to be really nasty, guys, put it that way, right? So we have our ABC structure, which is now confirming our entire count right here of waves 1, 2, pretty much right around here, 3, this is now 4, and there's going to be a 5th touch somewhere. And honestly, I don't know if we're going to get to 72.50, right? Because we might just end up double bottoming right here instead. So now we're going to be counting this very diligently. All of this is wave 1, just so you guys know, right here. This is all wave 1 coming down like that, okay? We can even see it right here. That's wave 1. This is now waves 2, waves 3, whatever. There's going to be like a small little wave coming down, probably something like that still, okay? Now that is going to make basically the wave, actually we don't know how much this one's going to go. This one could go very far, right? We simply don't know. Is that the actual count? We simply don't know where this official count is yet. We got to give it some more time to play out. If I look on a 30-minute chart, where is the count, right? Is this wave 1 right here? If we look at it, okay, is this wave 1? Is that wave 2? Is this 1, 2, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this wave 3, 4? And then we're looking for a 5th touch somewhere down there. Is that the count, right? Or is this perhaps the count instead, where we're looking at waves, like let's just say this was waves, geez, how am I going to call it? How was I going to do this again? I forgot. Hold on, I'm thinking. Where this is wave 1, that's 2. Is this perhaps 3, 4, and 5 going down? So is this tiny subwave actually a part of a bigger wave coming down, right? So we've got a lot of deductions to make right now, and we are very uncertain of the Elliott wave count. Is this a possible viable path right now, where we're heading down to the 7, the lower barrier down over here? We simply don't know. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to watch for this zone right here, okay? If you guys are entering a short position, which I'm probably going to end up doing, I'm probably going to wait until we break this lower barrier right here. But as we can see right now, this looks like it's leveling out a little bit, right? So if this is leveling out a little bit, what a lot of the times it does is, if this is actually wave 3, 4, and 5, okay, the wave 5 ends up making like a flat in here instead, where it just goes 1, 2, like it does a really weird pattern with 5 waves coming down like that to end the 5th wave. So if that's actually the 5th wave, then let's just say hypothetically that was it right here where it's happening. So are we going to get a small uptrend to test the 55 EMA, come down to the 7600, almost breach the 1-to-1 ratio of wave 1 there, and then finally come down for one more? Actually, this would be probably way lower. We don't simply know. So because we don't know how to count this Elliott wave accurately right now, the best way to do it, hold on, I missed your question there. I'm going to scroll back up. Jared, thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Tony Vay says that if BTC drops below 7,600, it won't stop going down. What is your opinion on that? Thank you for everything you do. You're welcome. It's actually my pleasure that I'm doing it to help you guys. You guys know my story with Ethereum. I hit it big with Ethereum. I thought it would never happen again. I saw Mizigo come out with 15 with the airdrop there for the people that were holding Ethereum, right? I also bought a lot of Omizigo at 50 cents. Actually, it was 55 cents. I bought Omizigo. That's right, guys. I bought Omizigo at 55 cents. I sold it at $13. I was doing my IOTA technical analysis way back in October. I told everybody to buy at when it was 32 cents. I told everybody to buy EOS when it was 60 cents. And yeah, so I've had a lot of success with a lot of coins. So that's why I do this, Jer. It's because I want you guys to have the same type of success that I've had as well. And now a lot of my time is dedicated to help you guys. So I just thought I'd bring that up since you said thank you for everything you do. It's really my pleasure to give back to the cryptocurrency community since you guys have done a lot for me. So my opinion is that it's going to stop at $7,200 first, okay? It's going to stop at $7,200 simply because of the things that I mentioned earlier, which is the three simple facts that right, we see a massive trend line right here. This is observation number 1, right, which ends around 7,000. That's not right the way I'm drawing it. Which ends at around 7,200-ish, this level. Observation 2 is that this is now a 78.6 extension at around 7,200 again, and observation number 3 is that it's also the 78.6 Fibonacci region right around here. So because we have a triple confluent zone, it's very difficult to believe that it's not going to first of all bounce there. But yes, guys, I do have a very bearish count, okay? I have an incredibly bearish count that I have not introduced to the public yet, and I don't want to introduce it but I'll give you guys a hint. My bearish count goes down to well below $4,000, right? It's a very scary count. And because of the amount of people that watch my videos and on Twitter, right? I've got over, I think, 150,000 people following me altogether on all social media platforms now. I don't want to scare the market because I could very well scare the market, right? And Eric, believe it or not, he's also got the same perspective as me for a bearish count. It's actually very, very scary. If Bitcoin does drop below 7,200 and it does not hold, yes, we will absolutely continue to downtrend. I haven't seen Trade Devil's entire video yet, to be quite honest. I've seen him release the Bitcoin video. I've glanced at it a little bit, but I haven't seen all of it yet as well. So yeah, there's a very scary count, guys. Like, I mean, you got to remember that 2018 is the year of regulation. And because it's the year of regulation, it's also the year of manipulation, where these big banks and investment companies, investment banks, will do anything to manipulate the market. And well, who controls a lot of the government, right? Well, money controls it. And I'm sure these big banks, they can lobby till their money just goes empty, right? They can lobby for a lot of different regulations, and there's no doubt in my mind that big companies are going to try to get into Bitcoin because there's nothing that's going to stop its bullish momentum. So it's also in their best interest because we have a finite amount of Bitcoin, right? There's a very limited supply because demand will highly exceed the amount of supply. It's in these big banks and their interest to accumulate as much as they possibly can, as cheap as they can. So because it's a year of regulation, it also makes sense on a fundamental level that these guys will do anything to manipulate the market, right? At the end of the day, Bitcoin is a commodity that's invested in, that's compared to like gold. And because it is like gold, it's a rarity. It's a very finite and scarce resource. And with anything that has a scarce resource, there's going to be a massive demand in the future when scarcity becomes low, right? It's all just a matter of supply. Okay, you guys actually got me talking about fundamentals. I don't like to add fundamentals into my technical analysis, as you guys know. But yeah, I really do follow the fundamental in incredible detail, believe it or not. I know you guys think that I don't follow fundamentals, but yeah, like I follow Lightning, I follow everything, guys, like LightPay especially right now as well. So I hope that answers your question there. I really appreciate. I don't think anything of BNB. I only think of coins like Litecoin, Ripple, EOS, Neo, Bitcoin, basically the top 10 coins, and Ethereum, and Cardano here and there as well. So guys, I'm just gonna wrap this up right now, okay? I'm gonna wrap it up and talk about some of the candles, right? We're seeing a lot. This candle right here, guys, kind of gave it away, all right? This 12-hour candle, as soon as we got this massive shooting star right here, where we got to 8,600 and shot down, that was very indicative to the market that it's done. This series of rejection candles is called a tweezer top, okay? Tweezer, just think of little tiny tweezers. When you get tiny little tweezers, you know for a fact that this now, it's over, right? You get a big bullish candle right there, and the bullish momentum is completely done when this formation comes up. And now we're trading in a much lower range. So here's the candle that I was talking about, okay guys? Right, we got a massive dragonfly doji slash hammer, and then the next candle for that day we ended up getting we got a doji. So this doji was a very indecisive candle, and I would imagine that today we're going to trade lower than this specific range of 8,000 where is it, $8,200. We opened at 82.49, we closed at 82.49. Yeah, I know a lot about Wyckoff theory, but I just don't integrate it into my trading. I keep it specifically what I'm good at, right? And I respect those theories as well, but I'd be pretending if I said that I could integrate it well into Elliott Wave. I've tried it before, but I'm just not a fan of using Wyckoff with Elliott Wave and the way that I do technical analysis. Keep in mind, guys, that technical analysis just comes down to what you get good at, right? Always focus on your strengths and what you like. There's no better technical way to analyze than any other. Stock RSI, you know, whatever you guys use, it's really up to you guys. If you use Bollinger Bands, if you use anything like that, if you use Ichimoku clouds, it's all a matter of to each their own. Different strokes for different folks. So don't ever knock on a way anyone's doing technical analysis. Just respect it and realize that people like different indicators, right? So I like RSI. If you guys have seen my advanced RSI ones, I read RSI like a boss, right? It's my favorite indicator. I love histogram as well. And I use these in conjunction with Elliott Wave and price action, and especially moving averages. So I've got my specialty down already. Make sure you guys see, if you guys are new to trading, see this as something like a first year college or first year university, where you're going to be exposed to so many different types of way to analyze. Now you guys are just getting the taste. You're getting a taste of what nothing actually, Brian. I don't do anything at all, okay? I don't talk about that kind of stuff. This is a professional stream, just to let you know. But one day when Graham, my homeboy, is Graham here? Is he here? When Graham is coming to visit on July the 6th, in July, him and I are gonna have some pretty good times together. We're gonna get crunked. We're gonna get crunked. No, it's all good, Graham. You don't have to come back. Yeah, so Graham is from Australia, and him and I used to be drinking buddies. We used to drink a lot together, and yeah, we did things like Molly together, whatever. I don't really care about saying that. And yeah, we've had some really funny times together. And he's gonna come visit on July the 6th, and we'll live stream, and I'll have my webcam and everything set up before then, okay? So anyways, thanks for coming back, Graham, but I just wanted to see if you were listening, because we wanted to ask you a really weird question. So yeah, so stick to it's like university, I was saying, right? You're going to be exposed to many different skills, and eventually you're going to narrow it down to what you guys like the most. And I know my strengths. Like, people have always said, oh, why don't you add this or that to your TA? I'm like, why would I want to? I'm already pretty decent at what I do. I'm starting to get better at it, so we focus on our strengths, right? So yeah, so you know, just to sum up, guys, if we break below this lower barrier here, like, it's going to be scary. Honestly, it's going to be really scary for the next few days. Like 8K seems to be a very significant number as well first, right? Just around these ranges, right where we are now. If you guys see, these are kind of hard resist or support regions, right? If extended outwards, we can even see that 8K is definitely very significant. And then on the lower barrier side, right here around the 7,000, you know, right here, 7,930, if we break this, do you guys see any type of really reasonable support level between here? Yeah, you do, but only right here. So I think if we break 7,930, it's actually going to be a free fall to 7,600. So kind of scary, right? Now, is there a bullish count? Yep, there's a bullish count, okay? There's definitely a bullish count as well. Is this making some sort of support right here? Sure, if you're grasping on straws, I guess this could be a level of support right here. We haven't technically broken it yet, right? Do you guys see this? We really haven't technically broken it, but is this grasping on straws to draw it like this? Huh? What do you guys think? I mean, the original way that we drew it was kind of like that, right? Like that, right here. That was the original way that we were drawing this channel. So I personally believe that it's almost like grasping on straws to draw it like that, because we're just trying to find two random points that connect to each other. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this kind of support, so I'm gonna keep my major support zone at 8,100, or sorry, $8,000, right around here. Okay, right around 8K range. And then my next lower barrier will be around 7,930. And if we break this zone, it's going to be a complete free fall down to at least this specific lower barrier here at around $7,600, right? So it almost seems like we're gonna uptrend a little bit, right? We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, like this. I don't know. This could be 3, 4, and there could be one more. And I think we're gonna fall to around the $7,900 range if we just take a look at it like that. This entirely seems to make sense, right? That seems to make sense from the way the wave structures are looking, where we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming down. So I'm almost ready to say that we're probably going to get a slight uptrend here. You know, we'll probably get a slight uptrend to a reasonable Fibonacci level. Okay, we get to maybe $7,200, maybe 8,000, or sorry, 8,200, maybe 8,300. Do you prefer stock RSI or just MACD? I've never even used stock RSI, to be quite honest. I'm familiar with the theory, but Jose, I wish I could tell you more about stock RSI. I just use these specific indicators, and I'd be lying 100% if I could say I could teach someone how to use stock RSI or even explain it in detail. I keep it real, my friend. I don't pretend to know something that I don't know about at all. Sorry, man. I appreciate the donation, though. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Yeah, I don't ever pretend, as you guys know, to know something I don't know about. I just say that I don't know. Simple as that, right? So yeah, never pretend that you know more than you know, guys, right? Just always keep it real, and don't pretend that don't be fake, right? Just be who you are. If you don't know the answer, don't try to impress anyone. Never try to impress anyone and try to give like some bullshit answer, you know what I mean? So yeah, Luna is asleep behind me actually. She's back with me tonight. She's entirely asleep. If you guys haven't seen her on Twitter there, definitely go check her out. She's super cute. So I do expect some sort of slight uptrend, guys, to maybe 8,300 at most, okay? And then I expect one more free fall down over here to about 7,900. And that could very well make our first wave. Like that's just a guess though, guys. I can't even make these types of predictions right now. But all I can say is we might get an uptrend to 8,300 about, maybe 8,400 at most. The support region will basically be right here at 8K pretty much. But of course we got to break this first, okay? So you might want to consider shorting it if we break right around this range that it hit here around 8,150. That was a very strong support. So yeah, that's kind of where it stands right now. Thank you, Fred. I really appreciate that, Mr. Hauser. It means a lot to me. Phil, how do you know when to start your count? That's a very difficult question. Honestly, the best way to answer that, Sheriff, would be to read a lot of books. I've read like 6, 7, I don't know, 9 books or something on Elliott Wave by itself, and I'd recommend the one by like AJ Robert Frost. Is that who it was? Like AJ Robert Frost, I'm pretty sure that's his name. And the visual guide of Elliott Wave. Those are some 2 really good books to take a look at. The best way to know how to read Elliott Wave is to honestly just look at a lot of charts and backtrack and backtest and read a lot of books, read a lot of the theory, because once you study these theories enough and you compound it into your head, well, then you can put the theory into practice, right? That's what I would recommend doing. No, I'm not going to share the bearish case. I'm going to end up scaring the entire market because my videos get like 15,000 views for the Bitcoin one, and they're also shared across many different forums as well. So I'm not gonna actually, okay, I'll show you guys the book. Robert Frost, Elliott Wave. Yeah, this is, or that's his name. I completely said it wrong. This is the one right here. Okay, it's by it's a really old book, but Elliott Wave hasn't changed. It's by AJ Frost, right? Robert Frost here. That's a really good one. And another one is Visual Guide, Elliott Wave. I don't want you guys to see my porn. If I search something by accident, the autofill might come up. Visual Guide to Elliott Wave Trading. That's a really good book as well. So yeah, give those definitely a read. So once again, just to summarize before I go get my pizza, if we break below around this region, right? Just keep an eye on 8150, guys. That's kind of like a critical number right now. We've been finding a lot of support there, right? And then another lower barrier is, of course, these ones. So we just play by the price action game. So give me 1 day to see what kind of retracement we make, right? So what I always wait for, as you guys know, is I wait for this right here. So this is what I specialize in, right, guys? I specialize in waves 1 and 2 and then shorting wave 3. So I wait for a wave 1 to form that has a bottom, and then I wait for a wave 2, and then I wait to short it when we end up breaking down. So I'll give you guys a lot of clues in the next few days when this happens. So right now we have officially come down, as you guys have noticed, but we haven't officially made a wave 2 uptrend yet, right? If this was wave 1, we haven't made a wave 2 yet. So I'm waiting for this wave to play out, and then that's when we're gonna know. Just as an example, it's the same concept of an uptrend, right? Same concept as an uptrend on, say, February 6th here. Let's go there. So February, where is it? That's the wrong one. Right here, okay? Right here. So we take this breakout right here, and then what we say is this is wave 1, okay? This is wave 2. Now we don't know where the bottom is, right? But what we do is we bind to strength. Do you guys notice right here is also the same thing as right here, the candle? See? Do you guys see how it's correlating? That candle and the volume, right? So what people do is they wait on the breakout to play it, right there, this specific move. So as soon as it breaks above it, then we are able to go into a long position, and then we are able to derive targets as well, right? So we derive targets by simply targeting about a 1-to-1 extension. Easy. You target a 1-to-1 extension right there going on the uptrend, just like on the downtrend right here, you target a 1-to-1 extension, right, for that wave 5. So this is how we're able to derive short and long-term targets like that. So now this ends up going down, you target a 1-to-1, just like here for wave 3. This one ended up exceeding a little bit, but we're more so just getting general guidelines of targets. So when we actually develop some more information on an uptrend that we're on the bounce, then we'll have confirmed, you know, my possible theory that we can get up to, say, I don't know, 9,300, or we might not even be done the downtrend yet, right? Either way, we have to make sure that we confirm a bounce based on Fibonacci retracement right there, okay? And then I'll be able to give you guys much better targets. Who cares, honestly, about waves 1 and 2, guys? Waves 1 and 2, nobody really ends up taking stuff on there, okay? So nobody ends up really looking at there. Check inner trend line from the 12,880 high. I'm not sure what high you're talking about there. From way back? Okay, I'll indulge you. 12,880. With this, well, first of all, this never got to $12,888. Right, unless you're talking way far back to over here. Let's just say, okay, $12,888. Are you talking about from here or something? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Soup. You might need to be more specific. Hytham Ali, thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. And Chrissy, my pleasure. I've watched every single video you've produced for the past 2 months since my brother put me onto you. Awesome. That's dedication, man. Like, you know, you guys should be proud of yourselves if you guys have come a long way and you used to lose a lot of money. right? If you've lost a lot of money and you've been following a lot of these technical analysts online like Eric Cho or whatever, Hyjin, myself, and just other people, I really hope that you guys can start to see how your skills have been improving over time. Magic Poop Cannon, I'm not going to comment. You know what? Sometimes I'm too honest and too open, and if I don't have a lot of nice things to say, I'm simply not going to say anything at all. Simple as that, right? But you guys should really be happy for yourselves if you guys have come a long way and your skills have drastically improved, right? If you guys haven't improved, well, trust me, you're slowly going to get there over time. Just keep hammering at it. Please remember that this is the most competitive environment that you'll ever be in your life. And you guys are going to be playing against very talented people. And you have to understand what differentiates these brilliant people who are all trading than the rest. And that comes to emotional discipline. Because remember what the stock market and all markets are about. It's about greed and it's about fear. The market takes advantage of the two most human and basic emotions that are primal in us that we have to control. And that comes to fear and greed. Despite how you guys see me, like, as you know, I'm always joking around and I've got a sense of humor. When it comes to trading, if you guys have noticed, I've got balls of steel, right? And my discipline and my stop losses are very, very strict. So we have to remember, I'm not saying I'm better than other traders, but what I'm getting to is I'm making the example that you have to be better than everybody, okay? You have to strive to be better than your guy to your left and the guy to the right, because where does the money come from? The money comes from someone else's pocket when you win, okay? If you guys lose, where does it go? The money goes towards someone else, okay? I'm just gonna ban this guy right here. It's really banning this guy Keck for talking about drugs in my channel, and we're seeing that I'm a drug addict. I don't like talking to people like that. It's just retarded. Why do you guys even come to my channel and you just, like, you know, talk crap only to get banned? It just makes no sense. And you're just gonna have to make a new account if you want to talk. And then the people that go on Twitter on their main account, right, just to talk crap to me, and then they get banned, and then they spend like 10 minutes making a whole new Twitter account and a whole new email just so they can come on my Twitter or YouTube and then just talk crap only to get banned after one comment. It's like, you really want to waste 10 minutes of your time to just get banned after one comment? It just makes no sense. It's like, oh my goodness, do something better with your time, guys. You know, it's like unbelievable how much time people have. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So anyways, yeah, make sure you guys are better than the next guy, because if you're not, people like me are gonna eat you guys up in the market, right? You're playing against very talented people, so you have to strive to be better than that bastard to your left or your right. So there you guys have it. I'm gonna post all of my charts on steemit. I'm gonna post my bias on steemit as well, so you guys are welcome to follow it on there. And this went a little bit long. I'm getting a little bit tired. I honestly just want to go eat my cold pizza. That's probably, oh crap, my pizza's still in the oven. My pizza's still in the oven. Oh my god, I gotta go. Okay guys, thank you very much for your time and for all your love and all for your support. And I'll try to stream at least once a day, okay, for you guys. So thank you very much for everything that you guys have done and for your love and support. And definitely reach out to me anytime if you guys have questions, and I'll try my best, okay? I'll try my best to answer your questions, but just keep in mind that it's very hard as well to go through all of the tweets and all the comments because of how sexy and how much everybody loves me. I'm just joking, guys. That's just my cocky side coming out, but I'm just joking. So have yourselves a good night, baby whales. Thank you very much, tiny little dolphins and mini little penguins, for joining the Philicon, Luna, and Blue show. If you guys don't know who Blue is, Blue's my microphone, right? If you guys haven't seen my Twitter post about him, where he was trying to sing, I'm blue, babu-dee, babu-die, if I was blue, I would die. And I just swiped him, and I'm like, shut up, Blue. This is not the Blue show. So that's who Blue is, in case you guys don't know. So have yourselves a great night, and thank you very much for tuning in. Take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to bed. Bye now.